Hi, and welcome to another episode regarding solar energy. I'm Lisa Albrecht. This is Albrecht Solar's series on solar information. And today we're going to tackle solar myths. There's a lot of misinformation about solar out there. And so today we're going to just dive into some of the big ones that we hear on a common basis. These are just some of the topics, the biggest of which that we hear frequently in the Chicago area is that it is too shady. We get too much bad weather, we have snow, gray conditions, lake effect, things like that in the Chicago region. This map shows irradiance. So it shows how much sunshine is actually hitting the United States. And you can see the scale at the bottom. Obviously, the Southwest, Arizona, Nevada, portions of Texas, you can see that those are on the far end of scale, meaning that it gets the most amount of sunshine. The Chicago area is really pretty much dead center on this. And then Alaska's on the furthest end of the spectrum because of its northern latitude. But you can see that Germany has a very similar sunshine ability that Alaska has. And for decades, Germany led the world in solar adoption. So honestly, if Germany can do solar, we certainly can do it here in the Midwest. One of the other advantages that we have that the Southwest does not enjoy is that we have cooler days and certainly cooler breezes that go across the surface of the panel. So whether it's a cell phone, your laptop, or a solar panel, all electronics are going to work better in cooler conditions, and having those nice Midwestern breezes as well as our good Midwestern storms to clean the panels off really puts us at an advantage to being able at times to produce our own power. Next, we hear this all the time, and that is just that solar is way too expensive. It's no longer on this chart anymore, but in 2007, when I joined the industry, solar was installing at about $13 a watt. Today, we're averaging somewhere in the $3 range, give or take a little bit, based on market conditions and the complexity of a roof. But solar is much more affordable than it's ever been. In fact, solar is now the cheapest form of new power generation than any other source, and that's worldwide, included here in the Midwest. The other thing that's really exciting is the advancement of solar technology. In 2007, we were installing panels that were rated at 150 watts per device, per module. Today, we're installing panels anywhere from 340 to 520 watts, and that's going to continue to grow and expand. So not only have the prices been coming down, the capabilities have also been expanding, meaning that you're able to do more for less using the same solar technology. In addition, both the federal and state governments have recognized that the adoption of solar benefits not only us locally, but also on a national policy level. So the federal government does have a 26% tax credit. Some of this is up for debate in the current infrastructure bill in Washington, D.C., and it'll be exciting to see what happens. But solar is definitely supported on both sides of the aisle, both in Washington, D.C., as well as in the state of Illinois. In Illinois, we also have a tool called a Renewable Energy Credit, or an REC, and we will do a separate episode just about renewable energy credits because it can be a little tricky, but it is a device that incentivizes local citizens here in Illinois that own their own rooftop to be able to invest in solar directly, as well as a program called Solar for All, where we might have lower income or communities that have been left behind in many parts of our economy to be able to adopt solar as well. So there's some really great financial incentives available to folks in Illinois to invest. Next, we hear that solar is too hard. On the right-hand side, you can see solar electricity. As soon as the sun shines, it creates electricity. That electricity flows directly into the house. If there's more than you need, it goes back to the grid. And if there isn't enough because the sun has set, or perhaps the panels are covered with snow, then you'll be able to draw power back in from the grid. So it's very seamless and all happens at your electric panel. Next, we hear that there is just limited availability. We just can't possibly do all that we need to using renewables. The circle in the bottom right-hand corner shows how much electricity the United States is currently using. And then the circles on the left show different alternatives, renewable energy sources, whether it's on utility scale solar, offshore wind, or even rooftop solar. And you can see with the exception of rooftop solar, any one of these technologies is enough to supply our current demand. So as we continue to combine all of these resources, renewable really is a great solution to be able to do everything that we need to do. That also includes if we begin to electrify all of our needs and start moving away from natural gas and other fossil fuels. So solar and renewable power, whether it's wind or other resources, are really great resources to do everything that we need. In fact, one of the things that's really exciting is that 1 hour of sunshine that strikes the planet is enough to power all of humanity for an entire year. So if we actually deployed our engineering and using these technologies with a lot more attention and intention, we could actually transition to clean energy and start working on some of the climate solutions that we have. Last we hear is that solar is really not scalable. You can see that the industry has grown exponentially. In fact, it's one of the fastest growing, if not the fastest growing sources of power worldwide. And that trend is going to just continue as more and more countries realize that solar deployment is an important solution for climate mitigation, as well as energy independence and keeping powers affordable and available in local communities. So hopefully that covered some of your basics. Again, this is Albrecht Solar. Check out our website at albrecht.solar, or you can always send me an email at info@albrecht.solar, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Thanks for watching, and tune in to more of our episodes.